Hello and welcome. Today we are going to be talking about this book, Super Gut, and we are going to talk about what is the microbiome, what role does the microbiome play in our digestion and our health in general, and can you restore your microbiome, and does it work? Do the tips of this book, do they actually work? Stay tuned. Hi everyone, I am a nutritionist and gut expert, and I have been working for a couple of years with functional gut disorders and helping a lot of people treat their IBS and SIBO symptoms. And this is my cat Pluto. Hi Pluto. And Pluto and I, we will be giving a review on this book called Super Gut, written by Dr. William Davis. I will be sharing my thoughts on this book, both positive and negative, and I will be telling you what I think is really great about this book and what I think it's not so great about this book. So you will get all of it in this video. And also, this video is perhaps to share some thoughts on what could be the root cause behind this epidemic that is called IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and what you can do, to get better and perhaps get a new perspective on things, how to treat this gut-related issue. So stick to the end of this video to get all of the great stuff that I'm going to share with you today. So stay tuned. Pluto, you agree with me, right? Now I have hairs all over my pants. Thanks for the hairs. I love it. So first of all, let's get something clear. Your microbiome and your gut bacteria have a huge effect on your body and also on your gut health. That's for sure. This is something that has been thoroughly studied for decades, and all of the research points out and concludes that your microbiome plays an important role in digestion, immunity, regulation of infections, production of serotonin that keeps your mental health in check, and much more. Also, there is a huge interconnection between the gut microbiome and chronic disorders like IBS, IBD, SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and even various autoimmune conditions. In my practice, before starting a treatment plan for a client, we always start with stool testing, where we test different types of bacteria. It could be pathogenic bacteria, dysbiotic bacteria, protozoa, and lots other things that we test. And we almost always find bacterial overgrowth and dysbiosis. So dysbiosis means that the balance of the microbiome is out of balance, and we see bad bacteria that is overgrown and good bacteria that is low, like lactobacillus, bifido, akkermansia. These types of bacteria typically are low, whereas the dysbiotic bacteria is always high. So we always find some kind of imbalance. Therefore, the treatment almost always involves probiotic treatment. So we use probiotic strains and include these in the treatment plan, because we need to give the customer or the client, a long-term treatment effect. And if we don't do this, many times, if you only focus the treatment on the diet and the antimicrobials, the overgrown dysbiotic bacteria is likely to come back after only a short period of time. So let's turn our attention towards this book. So this is a very interesting book written by Dr. William Davis, who also is an author behind the Wheat Belly books. And now he sheds some light on how the human microbiome is evolving and potentially weakening our health, and how we can fix it. So this book goes to say that we in the Western societies have lost control over our gut health. leading not only to gastrointestinal disorders, but also weight gain, allergies, and much more. Dr. Davis also points out in this book that there is actually some specific bacteria strains that have completely disappeared from the human microbiome that now is causing issues with our gut health that was uncommon just 100 years ago or even 50 years ago. So the key takes of this book is that you can actually do something about it, and there is a protocol that is presented by Dr. Davis, and this protocol is a kind of a plan for what you can do to restore your microbiome and thereby treat your conditions like IBS and SIBO. So this book demonstrates how you can eliminate the bad bacteria and restore the good probiotic bacteria in your gut with a 4-week plan to help reprogram your microbiome. So the book includes recipes and a diet plan, and also sources to how to get the supplements that are recommended in this book. So here is my personal review on this book, both as a nutritionist working with functional gut disorders like IBS, IBD, SIBO, but also a personal review from myself as a IBS survivor, because I have struggled for many years with IBS and now live a IBS-free life. And now I share my knowledge with other people that I can help treat their gut issues. Personally, I have treated my IBS completely and have since then helped hundreds of people treat their IBS symptoms and get better and help them navigate through these functional gastrointestinal disorders. So this review comes from somebody who has a lot of experience, both personal experience but also professional experience in the field. So let's get to it. First, I will tell you what I like about this book, and also at the end I will tell you what I dislike about this book, and you can gain your own perspective on this. Perhaps you have read this book and you have some thoughts on this book, so please share it with me in the comments section below. I would love to read your comments and your takes on this book. And also, if you have any questions, you can also drop it in the comment section below. So first of all, I think that this book is definitely worth reading if you are somebody who has struggled with gut-related issues like indigestion, chronic diarrhea, chronic constipation, gas and bloating, food sensitivities, or any other problems related to the digestive tract. This book will definitely inspire you and give you some insight on this microscopic bacteria that lives inside your intestines and how your health depends on it. So it is just amazing how this is explained in this book and for everybody to understand, and it will change your perspective on how you treat your stomach and your gut, and it gives you a sense of that you need to protect this beautiful flora that is inside of your body in order for your not only your gut health but also your general health to properly function. Anyone can benefit from this book, especially those who suffer from gastrointestinal conditions. So what gave me the goosebumps about this book is especially the part where they talk about the new generation of Western society children that are rapidly losing their good bacteria and good flora in their gut because of the processed food and the fast life that we live today. Our children are now developing chronic illnesses like obesity, allergies like asthma, gut-related disorders, and even high risk of autism. That really made me think about what I am serving to my kids every day and what kind of changes I have to make in my own home in order to to minimize the risk of my children getting sick in the future. Now, I'm not going to give away all of the specifics in this book because I think you should read the book and find out for yourself. However, what I do also like about this book is that the information in this book is based on some hardcore research and studies that, conclude and point out that there are some specific type of bacteria strains that are missing from the human microbiome, and that these specific bacteria types could be the missing puzzle of the IBS pandemic. That I personally think is a knowledge that is lacking in our healthcare system worldwide. It points out specific type of bacteria that is missing in the human intestines and presents you with a protocol where you can restore your gut by using the recipes from this book for that very reason. What I also love about this book is that the recommendations for the treatment process is purely based on natural remedies. So everything is based on dietary modifications, homemade food and milk kefir, probiotics, and herbal supplementation. I find that very, very good because I think that the natural remedies are the best way to treat your gut by far. So a lot of good points for this book, amazing information and treatment options. And now to the part where I give some of my critical points of view on this book. Oh, you are leaving me. All right. Bye. Well, as someone who has personally suffered from chronic IBS and has helped hundreds of people treat their IBS and SIBO symptoms, I personally think that this book is missing some insight on other root causes behind IBS and SIBO that are not microbiome or lactic acid bacteria related. In fact, there are plenty of IBS cases that are neither dysbiosis nor bacterial overgrowth related, so these are only correlated issues for many individuals. I have helped treat a lot of individuals where we fixed the dysbiosis, we fixed the bacterial overgrowth, and they are still experiencing IBS symptoms like diarrhea, constipation, bloated stomach, and so on. So what is wrong with these individuals and why isn't the protocol working for them? So there has been a lot of study lately made on what is the root cause behind chronic gastrointestinal disorders, especially the functional disorders like IBS, IBD, and SIBO. And there's a lot of data pointing towards that the root cause behind all of these conditions could actually be stress, anxiety, depression, and even trauma can also result in developing IBS symptoms. So this is a totally different theory than this book gives us. So if we go back a couple of years, just a few years back, a lot of the data that has been based on the conclusion that it's overuse of antibiotics, it's a fast food trend that we are eating too much processed foods. We are destroying our gut microbiota. We have bacterial overgrowth and so on. So this has been the root cause behind IBS, which this book kind of backs up with the data that is included in this book. However, a lot of new data has been pointing to a different direction. So what is actually going on here? We are now shifting our point of view towards that it could be more stress-related condition, and also how it affects vagus nerve, which sends signals to rest of the body, and how all of this is correlated to our digestive tract. Now, I'm not saying that this is true or not, but I do think that this book is missing some of the viewpoints on these new theories. My edition here is from 2022, so I think it's a bit unfortunate that it has not much emphasis on that this could be the root cause. We know for a fact that our sympathetic nervous system, which also is referred to as the fight and flight mode, slows down our digestive system and does not give signals to the gallbladder to release the bile, and it does not give signals to our pancreas to release the digestive enzymes. All of these who help break down our food and absorb the nutrients from the food. And also, we know that our sympathetic nervous system also causes our gut motility to become slow or even gets shut down, so it doesn't work at all. So all of these things can, you can develop a lot of issues with your digestive system because it slows down your motility. You don't break down the foods. You can, the acids become out of balance, and now we are starting to risk getting infections, bacterial overgrowth, dysbiosis, and so on and so on. So we know for a fact that our nervous system has a huge role and is totally interconnected with our digestive tract. And if we go back and look at how humans functioned, thousands of years ago, they had a perfect balance between their sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system, which also is referred to as rest and digest. So you have two different systems where some of the organs function differently within each of these nervous systems or nervous system paths that go to the body. When we think about the humans and how they were at that time, it was very simple, because when they were outside doing, they were hunting a deer or they were running away from a dangerous animal, they were in the red zone, they were in the sympathetic nervous system. But then when they come home to their families, can rest and they can eat their food, and there's not much going on, and they can just rest their bodies, and they had this perfect balance between the two. Also, what humans did not do thousands of years ago, they were not snacking all the time. So this is also the problem today, is that we snack too much in between meals. And also we have 3 meals, and sometimes we spread it during the day because we have a plan. We have to go to work. We are stuck in traffic or what else, and we are not properly digesting our food today, as humans did, thousands of years ago. Because today, when we eat, we have our phones. We have our phones, and we are scrolling on our phones, and we are eating at the same time, or we are, planning our day. All of this is activating the sympathetic part of our brain, which then sends signals that you should be in the fight and flight zone. And when you're eating your food, your brain should give signals that it's rest and digest. So it always chooses the wrong part of the system, and which results in that you are not properly digesting your food because you're stressing your brain all the time. Also today, what we are facing, it's like an epidemic, with all of this fast life and streaming services. You have social media, you have, a lot of us want to have a good career, be a perfect mom or a dad, and also we want to look good, and we have a lot of plans for our lives, and we stress a lot about it. So today we are constantly using our mental state to be in the daily life, whereas the humans thousands of years ago, they were much more physical with their bodies and didn't overload the brain that much as we do today. So of course, there is going to be some miscommunication between the brain and the rest of the body, and I think that could be a solution for many people. Is your brain functioning properly, and how should you actually do this treatment? Is it egg or the chicken or the egg? Is it the digestive tract, or is it the upper part? That needs to be fixed. And when you do this, month after month, year after year, you start developing stress, anxiety, even depression sometimes. And this, of course, can affect the rest of the body. And of course, the Western diet with the processed foods and the GMO foods and all of this toxicity that we are bringing into the body. Of course, this is not good for the body. I totally agree with this book. But for some individuals, you need to have a multi-approached treatment plan, because it's not only about the microbiome. It can many times be about something else as well. So I think that many individuals need to include this in the treatment plan for IBS, SIBO, IBD, and so on. So when I read this book, I think that this book is tipping towards a one solution fits all kind of approach or mindset. And I think that the author is missing, some of these valuable insights and not presenting the full picture. Also, another, perhaps a little bit smaller criticism that I have for this book is that this book focuses a lot on a couple of specific bacteria strains that they find very valuable and are missing from the human microbiome, and that needs to be restored using some of the recipes and the protocol presented in this book. However, I think that I'm not saying that these strains are not important, because they are important. So it's not about that. But what I do think is that there's a lot of focus on the lactobacillus and the bifidobacteria. And only a little bit, gets mentioned about other strains that could be very important for many individuals, not only a few individuals, but many individuals. And I think it's a little bit wrong, because what I have experienced with the clients that I have in my own practice is that, of course, we always start with the bifido and lactobacillus, because it's very important strains for the gut especially. But we quickly find out whether this is working or not. And also we have the stool test, so we can test for some imbalance in the probiotic bacteria as well, so we can find out if they are lacking lactobacillus or lacking some of the bifido strains. And that is a big help, because then we know which direction to go with the probiotics. But what I think that this book is missing is that there's not much emphasis on that. A lot of the times, or a lot of the cases of individuals with IBS and SIBO in particular, and the dysbiosis, they have huge benefits of other type of strains, like it could be streptococcus, it could be bacillus, which is great, for example, for leaky gut, and it could be Akkermansia, which actually is mentioned in this book. Akkermansia is mentioned, but it's only like a tiny bit mentioned in this book. Akkermansia could be like one of the game changers for some individuals, and so is bacillus, and even Clostridium class bacteria are not even mentioned in this book, which can be a huge game changer. So there's not not one solution fits all. So you kind of need to test some things, try some things out, and see if you should start new things, or do some new theories, or choose some other type of strains. So I think this is lacking in the book. So there's not much emphasis on other types of lactic acid bacteria, but mostly on the lactobacillus and the bifido. It's fine, it's great. Of course, you should try it. I think everybody should try it because it could be the missing puzzle for you, that you're missing these important strains. And thank you for the information. I think it's wonderful. You know, somebody's written a book about it. But I think that, don't get sad if this doesn't work for you, because there are plenty of options. And also, not all individuals, can do milk kefir. So a lot of individuals have allergic reaction when they get some probiotics, or if the probiotics are broad spectrum, so you have a lot of different strains, or even if it's very high amount of the bacteria, the alive bacteria. So the strength of the product, like the milk kefir, is like one of the highest strengths or best strengths of because it has around 400 billion CFU per half of glass of milk kefir. So if you compare this to some other supplements which only have like maybe 2 billion or 5 billion, even 10, 30 billion, that doesn't even come close to what there is of alive bacteria in one glass of milk kefir. So for some people, a good strength with milk kefir is great, and they can really see the difference that it's working. And for other people, they get an allergic reaction, so they cannot do milk kefir. So you need to kind of start off with small dosage, only a couple of strains, and so on and so on. Not all individuals are the same and have the same reaction. So I also think that this perhaps is a little bit missing in the book. However, to sum up, I really do think that this book is valuable, and I think it has a lot of valuable points, and I think it's worth buying and reading, because if you are suffering from all of these conditions, you should not be missing this information. So I think definitely this book has a lot of information that will change your mindset and the way you are looking at your health. I think that's really valuable. So a lot of great points for this book, couple of critic points, but overall a good book, great book. If you have any questions, if you have read the book, I would love to hear your comments. What do you think about the book? Did you try some of the recipes? Did it work for you? So please leave it in the comment below. And also, if you are benefiting from the content in this video, please remember to hit the subscribe button below. And I will keep you updated on new hot topics about chronic gut issues and other health-related information. Thank you for watching.